Arsenal moved into third position in the Premier League table courtesy of a 5-0 victory over Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The Gunners led by 2 goals at the break, with Gabriel making the breakthrough in the 11th minute before an own goal from Dean Henderson doubled the home side's advantage. Leandro Trossard then made it 3 in the 59th minute before Gabriel Martinelli struck a brace in the latter stages, with the result enough for Mikel Arteta's side to move above Aston Villa into third, 2 points behind leaders Liverpool. Arsenal entered the match off the back of 3 straight defeats in all competitions, but they proved to be far too strong for a disappointing Palace outfit in North London. Let's go around the punditry world to hear what the experts are saying about Arsenal's 5-star performance against Crystal Palace.
With a lot of aggression and motivation is the most beautiful part of the season, and today we started that part in a good way.
It's always nice if you have multiple players in different positions to score goals. That's what a team is about, I think, and it's really nice for us today, but next week will be others, and if we getting those goals from everywhere, it's hard to defend, obviously.
3 goals all came from corner kicks, 2 direct corner kicks and one where one of our corner kicks was chipped into the goalkeeper's hands and he started a very quick counter-attack. And at 3-0 down, you're obviously going to be really up against it.
Nicolas Chauvet has played a big role in this, hasn't he? Did you work hard with him on the set pieces? He's your set piece man?
Yeah, we do, and he's a big part of us, and especially against teams that they want to defend extremely deeply. He's a good way to open the game up, and we've been really consistent the last few years on that, and it's a good way to win games as well.
The camera at the end caught you looking across to the supporters. You saw the banners that they raised. What did you think of that?
I think they're entitled to their opinion, really, and I think that they're frustrated, they're disappointed. We can only hope that we can do better and that we can provide them, if you like, with what they hope to see, i.e. a Crystal Palace team that wins more games and moves away from the relegation zone.
Yeah, frustrating day for Crystal Palace. We'll come on to that very shortly, Ashley, because I suppose when you look at it from an Arsenal perspective, there's been a lot of talk about them struggling in their attack, but one thing they are not struggling with this season is their set pieces.
Yep, they've been brilliant, and they've got Nicolas Chauvet in there as a set piece coach, and obviously he's planned certain things, and Crystal Palace just couldn't live with it today. I thought they was weak and woeful in defending corners. As we're going to see, this is the man that sets it up for them. They've obviously done some work on it. Now, this is Joachim Andersen. He's your most attacking player in your own box, and he's free to go and head balls. You've got Trossard, we've highlighted, Gabriel and Richards. We keep an eye on Trossard. He's now going to block Andersen from behind, which frees up a big space for Havertz coming in just in our picture, and Gabriel, if he can get free of Richards and the ball's where it's supposed to be, which it is from Rice, he's completely unmarked. We see it from a different angle here. If you just keep your eye on Trossard, it's really clever. Schlupp's marking him, and he blocks the back of Andersen, which nullifies him completely. Richards loses Gabriel. That's not a foul at all. He's just got up early. As you'd know, you get up early, the defender can't move, and it's a good goal. Here, if we keep an eye on Schlupp, he's obviously realised now Trossard is blocking Andersen, who's the free man. So maybe I can help him out and go and attack the first ball because Andersen can't. And on this occasion, he does. It hits his own man and they get a little bit lucky. Now, the corner's changed because we've highlighted Andersen, who's supposed to, again, go and attack the ball. This is a near post cross. Trossard's blocking the front of Andersen. Havertz can nearly head it. He doesn't. Gabriel just messes up the header. But if we look where Andersen, he's not even in the middle of the pitch right now. His main concern is Trossard. Trossard is bothering him completely. Again, he's checking behind him instead of worrying about where the ball's going. We've highlighted Gabriel there. This time it's a carbon copy almost. Great delivery in. Andersen cannot go and attack that. It's down as a Henderson own goal, but it's a Gabriel free header a few yards out. But look how much that's your strongest header of the ball. And what he's worried about now is Trossard instead of going and attacking the first ball, because it's happened all game. And to be honest, Richard should do a little bit better because he's got to block Gabriel out of that zone. But fair play to Arsenal because they executed the planned corners really well today. Just
a quick one on that, Ashley, because if you know Arsenal is so dominant in set pieces, why is there so much chaos from the Crystal Palace team then?
The corners are great. So the blocking from Trossard's good, the run from Gabriel's good, and the corner itself is a good corner. But they're not that technical. There's not a lot going on there. So from Crystal Palace's point of view, it's disappointing that they weren't able to cope with it. And when you see the same thing happening again, sometimes on the pitch as a player, you've got to go and deal with that a lot better.
Yeah.
OK, well, bear with us on this because we've had a lot of time on our hands in between games. So we've all been playing a bit of detective. Ashley, if you want to talk us through what you think you've found.
Yeah, well, you know what it's like, Alex. There's always a trigger for what the movement's going to be. And we can see they're worked on whether it's a front post corner or a back post corner. If you keep an eye on Odegaard, we feel, maybe we've had too much time on our hands, but we feel that maybe he's signalling to the corner taker something. He's in the same place every corner and he's playing with his socks. So when we're looking for a trigger, it's because it's worked on. It's everybody, they're in synchronicity. They're either going to the front or the back. So every clip we see here is doing the same thing where he's playing with his socks. Might be coincidence, yes. This one's interesting because this is actually a front post corner. And he kind of does a different thing with his sock. So I understand we might be reaching for something that's not there, but it is a big coincidence if he's always there and he's always doing something with his sock. I think Nicholas Jover has said, yes, we have signals on which corner we're doing, so we have been trying to have a look. So he has alluded to it, somebody on the edge of the box, and we've
Maybe
seen
those socks
Odegaard.
are a bit too big for him.
Possibly, we don't know.
Alan thinks we're reaching. But Alan, was it too easy for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Or just Crystal Palace were that poor?
Easy. I mean, Arsenal certainly had more energy. They were quicker and miles better than Palace in every department. This was a constant all afternoon. That was the system that played. 3 centre-halves, 5 at the back. But there was no pressure at any stage on the ball. It was like, Arsenal, how do you want to play? Do you play at your pace? Absolutely. Give you time on the ball to pick your head up and spray the ball around. And you can't do that in any game, let alone against Arsenal with so many good players in their team. Similar thing again. Look, there's the shape, and it's just one pass straight through the middle, straight through the midfield into Odegaard. Take your touch and turn, and then all of a sudden you're into that back five, and you've got 5v5 there. Havertz then gets the ball, no one near him. Then the ball comes out again to Saka. No one gets the tackle in again. So I'm thinking, come on, at least you've got to get stuck in a little bit. Ball from the keeper. And within 2 passes, again, no pressure on the ball, 2 passes, ball in behind, and you've got a goal-scoring opportunity, and perhaps should have done better in there. Watch Zinchenko here. Walk straight through the forwards, walk straight through the midfield, then into Jesus. No pressure again, no tackle again. No centre-half was willing to go in and put a strong challenge in, which is exactly what was needed. And as I said, they played at their pace. Same thing again, second half. Jesus again, watch Anderson. He's actually 5 yards off him then. You've got 3 centre-halves. One of them can afford to go tight and put a tackle in. Really good play from Arsenal. Most of the game, yes, they got the set pieces, but some really good football again throughout the game. But worrying times for him and worrying times for Crystal Palace. If you have a look at the situation that last season they were in, that was Roy's last 10 games when he was brought in to do the job that he did, and he did it really well. But look at it on the right-hand side this season. Every stat is down. Goals against, expected goals, shots faced, everything. You can see the reaction from their fans and the banners. So pretty worrying times for Crystal Palace. But what I would say is that Eze and Elise only started the 3 games together this season. They're big hitters. So that's one of the reasons why they're not doing. But I still think they'll have enough, but they've got to improve big time. Yeah,
it's been a frustrating week for Palace, out of the FA Cup, and a game to remember at the Emirates, to forget, I should say. Well, 2 games on Match of the Day tomorrow.
You saw the banner that the fans held up in the stadium. I'm just going to repeat the words that were read on it. Wasted potential on and off the pitch, weak decisions taking us backwards. Can you understand their frustration right now?
Yeah, they've got every right to be frustrated. Things aren't going the way they want it to. Things aren't going the way we want it to. And they have every right to voice their opinion.
Fans are always entitled to their opinions. You know, the fans at the club have supported Crystal Palace extremely well through the years. They care. They want to see a strong Crystal Palace team. At the moment, they've seen a team today which has been outplayed by a superior opponent, and I think they're entitled to make their opinions felt. But I'm afraid there are times when we look at it from our position, you know, the team and myself, what more could we do, you know, with the people that we're trying to put on the field to get us the results, and so it's not always that easy. But as far as I'm concerned, the fans are quite entitled to any opinions they have, and I'm pretty certain they'll let the club know.
Always want to win every game. Obviously, the league is so competitive. You can see it every week. There are a bit of surprises. So we just need to work hard and look at ourselves. And if we keep those performances like today, it will be hard to beat. But you don't know.
The positivity that we had right from the beginning, I had a really good feeling the last 10 days about the team and how they reacted against certain adversity. And they are great players. We have a great team, and today they really won it, and I could feel that, and I'm really pleased. First of all, with a clean sheet, and then scoring 5 goals that we.
Well, they certainly needed that victory, and to score the 5 and keep the clean sheet, as the manager just said, was really important. Just how big a win was that in terms of the title charge for Arsenal, do you think?
Yeah, it was massive, and it was also as well putting to bed some of the headlines around the last previous games where they'd lost, created loads of chances, not taking them. But they were ruthless today, they were clinical. And of course, when you see Liverpool at the top, Manchester City come in, Spurs just behind it, Aston Villa up there, of course, you've got to keep up with these guys, you know what I mean? And games like Crystal Palace at home are struggling. These are games, if you've got aspirations of winning any title, you have to win.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of the goals, we saw 5 of them. It was a thriller in the end. Martinelli with 2 goals in stoppage time, Farah. And he didn't start the game. I think there were question marks over why he didn't start, but he certainly made an impact when he came on.
Yeah, he did. And the finishes are identical. And this is what he was so good at last year, getting beyond and coming in off the line. But the way he just takes the ball and gets his body around it, just to open up his body, to be able to pass it, you'll see it here. Really good run from out to in here. And then it's this, getting around the ball, opens up, the angle for him to then place it into the bottom corner. For a striker, this is a fantastic finish, a little bit similar to, Henry, when he used to play at Arsenal, he did this, regularly. So it was a fantastic finish. But it was his second goal that I most enjoyed. It was, the partnership, and Nketiah coming short, bringing the defender out, and then Martinelli running beyond into that space. And look, the finish again, it's identical to the first finish. He does really well, but this is Martinelli at his best, when he's running beyond, getting in those positions, and passing the ball into the far corner, Darren.
Do you know, it was a masterstroke, because at first I was thinking, this type of game, I thought Martinelli should have started. I thought, right, do you know what? Crystal Palace defensively, gaps everywhere, play a really high line. He's very good at running behind. But Arteta, it's fantastic, because Leandro Trossard started ahead of him. I thought played really well. And just as Crystal Palace were getting tired, you then put on Martinelli, and as Farah said there, he comes on and scores 2 great goals.
Now, Darren, we were in the Matchday Live studio for this one with Ian Wright, and I guess you both said how important the start would be for Arsenal, and they got off to a really good start, courtesy of a towering header from Gabriel.
Yeah, he was brilliant, I thought, Gabriel, today. And again, when it comes to set plays, I know he gets up really early, and some people said it could be a foul, but he gets up so early with that hunger and desire. It's a fantastic header, and 9 times out of 10, whenever asked to put the ball into the box with quality, Gabriel will be there or thereabouts. He'll get the first contact or the second, and that header there, really good header, Farah.
Yeah, it is, and you spoke about it there. It's the delivery. I think the delivery allows for this to happen. I think, set plays for Arsenal haven't been great of late, and I think, the second one as well, this is the second one. The pace on the ball that comes in just allows for a touch, really good movement at the back post, but I think the delivery is both set up, the delivery is really allowed for these both goals to go in from Gabriel. I know this is classed as an own goal, but it's Gabriel that's, challenging, and as Darren said, he wants to get there first, and he does that on both occasions.
Yeah, both Gabriel's instrumental in this game in the end.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I mean, but looking at the replay there, I feel sorry for Richards.
You a little bit.
Richards, because Richards is marking him for the first one, and Gabriel completely bullies him and scores, and then he's trying to mark him again, and he got nowhere near him. But again, Gabriel, you put the ball into the box with quality Arsenal, they're a real threat from set plays for sure.
They are, and actually they've scored the most goals from set plays in the league. How much of a springboard could this be now to push on for 2024 and really challenge Liverpool at the top?
Yeah, it has to be. I think, the short break that they had away, change of environment, it certainly looks as if it's really helped them. It wasn't a problem for Arsenal creating the chances. What the problem was for them, in the start of the season, was being clinical in front of goal. And we've seen today that they can be clinical in front of goal with those chances that have been created. So it could be they kept themselves in the title race. I think that's a good thing that Arsenal did in the first part of the season.
There was pressure on them going into this for sure after a string of defeats. Now back to winning ways. There was one negative though, because we saw as Declan Rice went off, it looks like he's mouthed hammy, which could be really problematic for Arsenal, but we don't have any more information on that.
You just hope that he's walking off there, so you're hoping it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe he's felt a little something and he's gone, do you know what, just to be on the safe side, let me get off. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably the clever thing to do, because he has been exceptional for Arsenal this season, and you need him fully fit. So if he's felt anything, the right decision there was to get him off straight away.
So 20 days.